Hey everybody, it's Mike and Denise. We're back with review and comment on the plant-based news. Denise has picked an article out for us today. We've been waiting on this for a few days actually. And what's it called?
It's called Chicken is Not a Healthy Choice. It's by Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Sorry, my throat is a little scratchy. I actually have a cold.
Whoa.
So cholesterol, carcinogens, pathogens, and even feces are found in chicken products. And they increase the risk of heart disease, breast and prostate cancers, urinary tract infections, and foodborne illnesses.
All right, the feces thing, that's also like a ground beef thing, I think, and other stuff from what I've heard in the past. Anytime you're dealing with an animal, I think, whether you realize it or not, an animal product that has the potential, where the animal has feces in its colon, there's a good chance it's going to get in your food, right? I mean, I think that's just a standard thing.
Yeah, that's what happens when you work in the meat processing industry. So, carcinogens and cholesterol. Carcinogens occur naturally in chicken in a Physicians Committee study compiled from independent laboratory tests. 100% of 100 grilled chicken samples from top restaurant
100%.
chains in California contained PHIP, a federally recognized carcinogen that has been linked to breast, prostate, and other cancers. PHIP forms naturally from substances found in tissue when the tissue is exposed to direct high heat.
All right, let me also mention, because this has been known for years, maybe, is this a recent article from PCRM?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Well, I just want to comment because anybody who's been around the block for a while knows, if you've read Consumer Reports, they have said for like the last 10 years or more that 90+% of all the samples they've ever tested of chicken contain harmful bacteria. So this is actually not anything that's new, and it's not, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that this is old news, but at least somebody else is doing it again. So
we didn't even get into the bacteria part. Chicken also raises cholesterol levels as much as red meat. Researchers tested the effects of low saturated fat diets that drew their protein from red meat, which is beef and pork, white meat, chicken and turkey, or non-meat sources such as legumes, nuts, grains, and soy products. It turned out that both white and red meat raised LDL, or bad cholesterol, compared with plant-based proteins, and did so to about the same extent. In addition to dietary cholesterol, typical chicken servings are about 50% fat. 30% of that is saturated or unhealthy fat, which stimulates the body's production of cholesterol.
yeah, crank the volume up here. We got all the restaurant people.
So regarding the pathogens, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that every year about 1 million people get sick from eating poultry products contaminated with harmful germs. A 2017 study found that poultry accounted for the highest number of foodborne outbreaks, illnesses, and hospitalizations, and the second highest number of deaths. CDC research shows that foodborne illnesses from bacteria found in chicken are on the rise. In 2018, Campylobacter infections increased 12% compared to 2015 to 2017. You're gonna get me killed. And Salmonella infections increased 9%. Since 2013, Campylobacter, which causes diarrhea, sometimes bloody, and hospitalizations for 18% of people, has caused most of the foodborne illness infections. Salmonella is the second most common cause of foodborne illnesses, which can result in diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps. In 2018, the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service reported that 22% of establishments that produce chicken parts have failed to meet the Salmonella performance standard. So,
what does that mean? You're allowed to have some Salmonella, but not too much?
Yeah, they have standards for how much Salmonella your plant
well, my
allowed
guess,
to have.
Well, your plant. Well, I'm guessing that Salmonella is really only going to be present in the animal products. I've heard of some stuff in plants, but I think usually it's because animals and other stuff are peeing on it and stuff like that. It's not because it actually is in the plant.
Right, it's because the water contaminated the plants. The water runoff from the factory farms, usually. So, urinary tract infections. E. coli found in chicken feces may be a major cause of urinary tract infections. A 2018 study found that a strain of E. coli ST131, found in retail chicken products can be passed to people, leading to UTIs. E. coli 131 is particularly adept at traveling from the bladder to the blood and kills thousands of people in the United States each year, according to the study. An earlier study published by the CDC examined urine samples from women who had UTIs and matched E. coli in the samples to E. coli from contaminated foods. They found that most of the E. coli was ingested through retail meat products, 61% of which were chicken products. The ready-to-eat products, 73 of which were meat products. The authors concluded that chicken was the main source of urinary tract infection causing E. coli. The researchers who also warned that animal product sources of E. coli might be drug resistant, which can require more costly and complicated treatments. So the next paragraph is labeled fecal soup.
Ooh.
The Physicians Committee sued the U.S. Department of Agriculture in 2019 for ignoring concerns over widespread fecal contamination of chicken products. The lawsuit followed USDA unresponsiveness to a Physicians Committee petition that included results from tests conducted on 120 chicken products sold by 15 grocery store chains in the U.S. Let me finish that. The lawsuit and petition quote a federal inspector who said, "We often see birds going down the line with intestines still attached, which are full of fecal contamination. There is no fecal contamination on the bird's skin, however, but we can do nothing to stop that bird from going down that line. It's more than reasonable to assume that once the bird gets into sorry, I had to jump down off of a curb and not fall and break my face. Nothing to stop the bird from going down that line. It's more than reasonable to assume that once the bird gets into the chill tank, which is a large vat of cold water, that contamination will enter the water and contaminate all of the other carcasses in the chiller. That's why it's reasonable. That's why it's sometimes called fecal soup.
Fecal soup.
Yeah. So, poultry slaughter procedures, a USDA training video obtained by the Physicians Committee through a Freedom of Information Act request made in 2013, revealed that the chicken slaughtering process ends with the carcasses soaking in cold water, or fecal soup, for up to 1 hour before being packaged for consumers. So that's why if you get urinary tract infections, ladies, if you're eating chicken, this could be the culprit.
And that's it?
That's it.
All right, so the conclusion is don't eat animal products. Don't eat anything that's contaminated with them.
No.
What if you're eating at a restaurant that's not a totally vegan or plant-based restaurant? Are you getting contaminated there? What if someone else is cooking in your kitchen and is using chicken and you're not?
Yeah, you're taking your chances.
Okay, so you got to watch out. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not good, and hopefully in the future, people will not use any of that stuff, right?
Right.
So we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yes.
So that's the takeaway. And also, we are all out here getting our walk. We're not sitting here reading this in front of a camera while we're in a seat somewhere, right? We're out here getting our exercise, which is another thing that's important. And if you don't understand why,
Mental health.
yeah, yes. And also just your body's designed to move. Otherwise you're just gonna, all your muscles will atrophy. So
Yeah.
get my free book, Live to 150 at liveto150.org. And also don't eat animal products. Don't buy them, don't touch anything. What if you touch stuff in the grocery store? What if you put chicken, what if you pick up chicken and you put it in your cart and then it contaminates everything else you've got?
Well, you can get contaminated just by touching the packaging. You can see how it leaks pink stuff all over the place.
Ooh.
That's why they put paper towels out by the meat department.
Yeah,
Clean
that's
up
not
those
good.
messes.
All right. So that's all we got for you. Make sure you give us a like if you got some value out of this video, a thumbs up, like, whatever it is, subscribe, and we will see you in our next review and comment on the Plant-Based News video. Bye-bye.
Bye.